The race has already started, but because of some technical issues, we're currently not able to see it. And yeah, this
They
we will
seem
momentarily
to be
get
back,
everything back to
hopefully.
work.
Yeah, it seems like people are saying we're back. So that's a bit of unfortunate technical difficulties, but we're just getting things fixed up so we can get back to the race as soon as possible.
Luckily enough, our two runners don't seem to have technical issues, so at least for them, the race is going smoothly. So we can still join. Yeah, well, they can enjoy their race and we can have our technical issues here. I can imagine that it can throw someone really off if they are starting their race with some technical issues. So hopefully they don't even notice that. We can also see on the trackers that they already got wall jump, which is they already got climb. I'm sorry. So that is not quite what they were hoping for. Yeah, but as now the stream is back again, somewhat. They also found a mapstone and a keystone, and besides that, nothing really of notice. Yeah, the second keystone turns out to be some XP, so they have to head into Blackroot Burrows to find some further progression. And we see both of our runners going there immediately, performing a trick called Save Anywhere. Matt, do you mind explaining what Save Anywhere does?
Sure, so Save Anywhere is a form of menu storage that you can do on the ability menu, which involves using the one of the dialog boxes in the ability menu, and this actually works on any dialog box. And you can close the dialog box and with two different ways on the same frame, which we have a bind for. That's part of the run, and that just allows us to instantly go into this state where you have the ability menu up, but control is resumed, and then you can use it to level up an ability and save while you're moving, and then you can save inside cutscenes. The game doesn't know exactly how to handle that, and often ends up skipping the cutscenes for you.
Yeah, we're just for you to note, this is obviously, they are not perfectly synced. We are just seeing one part of the race right now, which is the side of Matter, and so far he hasn't found anything useful in Blackroot Burrow, no second key, and we're also now getting back avenged part of the stream. He is also now heading into Blackroot Burrows. He already went there apparently because he doesn't have to skip that cutscene. And so far, they have found a second keystone, at least Matter has, so they can, in theory, progress to the left, but Matter is deciding to head back into Blackroot Burrows, collect some other pickups that are still free to grab here, as Avenged on the left is making short notice of this part as well.
So yeah, the Blackroot area is just one of those very slow, tedious areas, especially when you barely have any skills. So unfortunately, there's not really that much the runners can do to speed this area up. So they're just, it looks like maybe having more issues with Avenged Street. Oh, no, it's back. So both runners are just fairly cleanly going through Blackroot, trying to get all the pickups as fast as possible here, and then continue on to the areas that they can go much faster and hope to get some more exciting skills than just climb.
And as we head to our first tree, it is interesting to note that all our runners have to visit all vanilla skill tree locations in order to complete the seed. This is one of the requirements of the version of the randomizer that is played here, which is called Force Trees. According to the name, and every third, sixth, and ninth tree they get a clue for one of the important dungeon keys. So there are 3 dungeons in the game, and 2 of them are mandatory to complete the seed. One because there is a tree in a tree to get to that skill tree location, and one because it contains the final escape.
Yeah, it looks like we found Grenade for Avenged. So that's 2 parts of an exciting skill combination, but at the moment is just going to allow Avenged to go on through to a few different extra pickups behind blue walls and behind plants, but isn't really going to unlock that much more at the moment besides that.
Yeah, meanwhile on the left we're seeing Avenged going for a pickup that is not yet in logic, as in the randomizer does not expect you to find it just yet, because it is hidden under dirty water, and it just turned out to some XP. And he now got the valet teleporter, which is very important for later, as it grants you access to the left side, where there are some trees you need to collect, and also the final escape. And another skill, Charge Flame, is right next to its vanilla location, the tree that Avenged is now picking up. On the right, Matter is just basically doing the same path Avenged did before, is probably heading to the Sea Flame tree as well. Yes, he's opening this wall, so picking up that XP and going further up, he will also get his left side access.
Yeah, so Charge Flame is a bit of an interesting one because you'd expect that once you get Grenade, since you can both reduce the cost to 0, that you don't really have that much use for Charge Flame, but there's actually still a few locations that it can help out with, especially when it comes to being able to break plants through walls.
Yeah, and they are both. Avenged is going further into the glades, which is the starting area in the vanilla game. But due to them only having wall jump and no 2 keystone fragments, they only went there now. And we are also getting our first mapstone turn in. Mapstones in this version of Orient the Blind Forest are progressive, meaning that the first mapstone, no matter where you turn it in, will always grant you the same thing. So what could also happen with that is that one of the dungeon keys or a skill or whatever could be on one of these mapstones. So our runners will try to put in as many of them as they can.
Avenged is going for a little awkward trick here. It's makes it a lot. The climb version is quite a bit easier than the wall jump, but it's still a bit precise. They manages to get it, skipping the pushing the boulder, and then does a nice climb ramp over to the other side. And then he's going to do a nice damage boost over these spikes. Manages to get it as well, so that saves quite a lot. Oh, but then takes a death, but there wasn't anything that important, so I'm not sure if he's going to go back for it. Looks like he is
I
going to go back. And Mattermonkey's doing the same thing at the moment.
was a keystone, and that could be the next piece of progression to get further into the map. So there is another keystone door in this area to get to the grove area, although they could kind of, well, we have from the sea flame tree, so they need to open that door for now. And they're both now heading, it is very synced, they are both heading towards the next tree, which is the wall jump tree, which is in the vanilla game the first tree you collect.
Yeah, so now that we're getting our first clue here, and that says Sunstone is for swamp, which is an area that they have access to, as they did get the swamp teleporter. So I will not be surprised to see both the runners maybe teleporting over there immediately, and then seeing if they can continue their searching over in that area. Though it looks like Avenged is instead going to go up and trying to continue through glades, go through the Spirit Caverns area, very pick up dense. They're full of lots of keystones, and maybe try and get some new skills there before heading into Swamp.
Yeah, I like that play actually because as the Sunstone guards the final escape, they won't need it too soon. Unless, for example, the water vein clue is Mount Horror, then they might need it. So checking for some more skills is definitely also a heads up play, but of course, hunting for that one dungeon key is also vital as they will need it later for sure. And we're seeing what Avenged can get here. It's just some little XP. The second keystone holds a vanilla keystone. He can't quite get up to that without some precise wall ramps, I believe. And now he's heading to some two other keystones he can collect, so maybe they will contain
Oh,
something useful, or progression
Avenged
is
is
somewhere
going
else.
for the micro ledge here, doing this very precise climb movement. There we go, gets the micro ledge to hop up. Now this is the scary part. Okay, manages to get the last bit. Is he risking? Yeah. Oh, that's so fortunate. The fact that that was a hell cell, it meant that he actually survived getting that pickle. If it was anything else other than a mega health, he would have died from falling into the spike straight afterwards. So he's rescued by the randomizer there, for Avenged, as he heads now over to the spirit tree, while Mattermonkey is heading through the grove area. Interestingly, that Mattermonkey chose to head straight to the grove area instead of trying to go through the swamp loop to check the pickups there first, bearing in mind where the clue was. But of course, if they don't find a huge amount of skills soon anyway, then it's not going to matter that much, as they're going to end up clearing out both those areas anyway.
On the left, Avenged is circling his energy, meaning he can't skip this little cutscene here because he can't perform a save. He decided to go into Valley Entry. He didn't find anything too useful there besides the meme 1 XP pickup, which, well, you can imagine isn't too useful. But with the fourth health cell was, in my opinion, a good thing to keep. Well, yeah, because although they are speedrunners, they are obviously very good at the game. Health can actually help you with a lot of tricks that you can perform later, like damage zombie or whatever you were trying to do. Um, so health is a very important resources, and in general, resources are a very good thing. So it's always good to check a lot of pickups, even if you're not sure they contain a skill or one of the dungeon keys, which is obviously mostly what you're looking for at that current stage.
Yeah, we did see Mattermonkey take a bit of an unfortunate fall, trying to go for the grenade throw to get that grenade lantern, but ended up falling down, and didn't know that you can get up back up again, but it's a rather awkward jump, especially with climb instead of wall jump. And so just decides to go with a reload quickly back to the previous save. Fairly sensible decision to do, but just a little bit of a time loss there.
Yeah, on the left, Avenged pulled the trigger to get this little platform to the left further down, so now he can go to the so-called spider sack area, but decides to head out as he realizes that just climb isn't the easiest to get along in that area. And in terms of movement skills, they really don't have a lot. They only have climb so far, which is very limiting. Climb starts in general are just can be very frustrating as you don't have any kind of verticality besides on walls, and you don't have fast movement or any kind of stalling in the air. So it can be quite difficult to navigate the world with only climb. They do, however, have blue plant breakage and wall breakage and whatever. So probably there's gonna be some progression in one of these. Yeah, on the meantime, Mattermonkey to the right is heading into Grotto. He's activating the teleporter, and we will see if he finds gaps that might hold.
Yeah, it looks like Avenged has decided to go back into Blackroot for this one-off pickup that he ended up missing, because didn't have a way to easily get up to the XP. Oh, and takes a fall down. Oh, that's all the way back to the spirit tree. It says, "I've had enough. Hope that pickup's not anything important." And decides to teleport over to Swamp.
On the right, we're seeing some nice cutscenes from Matter with Gumo, and he's going to the left in direction of Death Gauntlet. This has some pickups that he can access, although not all of them are in logic. He's still making his way there. There is a blue plant he can break, so maybe that holds progression. And he's luring that frog for that one underwater pickup. As mentioned before, this is not in logic, as logic does not expect you to swim through dirty water. It turns out to be a mapstone, so he's now, I believe, at 2. So maybe there could be some progression in the mapstones.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. We could see them heading down to the specific mapstone altars just to try and put them in as fast as possible. But we could also see them trying to explore as many new areas as possible, of course. Mattermonkey might be heading over to the Spirit Caverns, Spirit Tree area now with the current things he has. Of course, neither runner has found what the logical progression is at this point. It could be going down in Grotto. We're not really sure at the moment. There's quite a lot of possibilities. Avenger's going for this really awkward one-off pickup, the Horu health cell. Of course, Mattermonkey did check this earlier as well. So very much evening up their time of checking these really awkward pickups, because this is so far a pretty slow, awkward seed of not giving them much to really move fast.
Yeah, they are definitely 17 minutes in, and besides that one wall interaction in terms of climb, this is a very slow seed for sure, as climb alone, as said, does not open up a lot of the map. And Avenged is now also deciding to take the swamp loop, I believe. And we're seeing Gumo one other time as he steals the water vein that we need to find as well to head into Ginso tree and collect the Bash tree. Bash, on a side note, would be a very nice skill to find right now, as it would open up so much movement, and so many pickups on the map would be in logic all of a sudden. And yeah, we'll see if there's anything important for both of our runners. So far, unfortunately, not much progression here.
Mattermonkey's doing what I was hoping to see, is heading down into the grotto area. Gumo hideout, a lower area, but first grabbing the water vein and one extra pickup that you can do using a smart save anywhere to save you while you're getting catapulted up slightly by the cutscene. If you save it at just the right time, you'll keep that speed when you reload, and then you'll be able to make it across the bridge without any skill requirement whatsoever, which is super helpful. But of course, since it requires a save anywhere, it's not in logic. So although those pickups aren't in logic, still good things to check, as really they just want absolutely anything that will get them some speed at this point.
Yeah, on the left, Avenged had a bit of trouble opening this one off pickup because one of the enemies killed the other. And there's Glide for Mattermonkey on the right in Gumo's hideout. So that is definitely a nice way to stay in the air longer, to make some of the horizontal movement easier. Stall movement like he's showing here, you can easily just glide there. He's taking a death here as he has no easy way to going back up, and he wants to check this area as well for pickups. He does only have one energy, so he can't quite open the door, I believe. Wait, he opened it.
He
I
had a
assume.
mega energy,
Yeah,
which he used to
with mega
open.
energy. And now he's doing the vanilla way of getting through this area by blocking the lasers with these redirect versions. Now he's able to sea flame this barricade and gets not a whole lot for his trouble. Definitely not the progression he was looking for.
So if we're thinking about what the logic could be expecting with the skills that the runners have found, of course, Mattermonkey has the advantage of having glide right now. But glide doesn't really open up many pickups. The pickups that it opens are all pretty much really annoying, awkward one-off pickups. So you've got things like the dash plant in Blackroot. You've got the you've got it heading over to the energy cell over in the spider area, but we'll see whether or not there's actually something deeper down into the double jump area, which would be nice, as then we'd be able to see that actually there's something nice opened up. But who knows?
On the right, Mattermonkey might go for the mini boss. Oh no, he is deciding not to do so. He could have easily killed him with having sea flame and grenades, but let's see. Oh, there was double jump on the left, I
There's
believe.
charge jump
Charge
for
jump
Avenge,
even
which is
for Avenged.
huge. This opens up all sorts of things. So they have grenade jumps now. They have access to all sorts of different things. They can go much faster now if they're deciding to actually do grenade jumps. But if not, then it still accesses all sorts of different pickups and
Yeah,
new
and
areas as well.
it's interesting to note that Matter was already in the general area where Charge Jump was, but decided not to check that one energy cell that Charge Jump was in. So it might be quite some time until he finds Charge Jump, or he doesn't find it at all if there's another kind of progression down here. So we will see how that turns out. And as you were trying to say, grenade jumps are now available, and they are a very fast movement technique if you're able to perform them. On the left, Avenged now also has found his glide, so he will be happy about that, and he has a somewhat comfortable skill set now. Still, some more would be nice, and there's Wind Restored right next to glide, basically.
Yeah, Mattermonkey didn't get that because, of course, he didn't have charge jump at the time. And so that's going to be another advantage for Avenged when it comes to later on, especially for getting a nice, easy Sorrow entry.
Yeah, so that is definitely an advantage Avenged now has over Matter. And we will see. He's now also checking that laser area that Matter has checked earlier. Of course, we know that there is nothing important in here, but he doesn't know, so he's checking those few pickups right now. Whereas Matter is deciding to do his upper glades and possibly go into Grove, um, or might decide to keep those keystones. We'll see. He now also finds he has a good amount of health, I would say. I'm not too sure if it was a mega health he found or not, but with that, he can go through that door. Now only has one keystone left, which could be a problem if there aren't a lot of keystones around, but obviously, this door is very important to open as it allows you to get to the Grove area and also to the entry of Valley.
Yeah, so Mattermonkey is also taking this cutscene watch. They've both very much been exchanging these very long, arduous cutscenes and extra one-off pickups. So it's not really mattered that much for either of them that they've ended up having to do these extra things. Of course, Avenged is heading down into the double jump area. It'll be interesting to see where decides to go after this with the charge jump available. Potentially could be heading into swamp for the stomp area, as you can access that with climb and charge jump. It could also be heading down into a lower black route. That's another option for them. But Mattermonkey still has the problem of not knowing that Charge Jump is in Death Gauntlet.
Yeah, so Mattermonkey's movement is still very limited, as he still doesn't have any kind of movement technique besides climb and glide. And there's clean water at the double jump tree. That probably means that Matter will not find this, as it is quite far off the normal route. But this now opens up all the water pickups for in logic, and there are some in the glades area, especially that are also grenade locked, which they have, so they could pick that up potentially.
Yeah, I mean things are looking pretty good for Avenged right now. I think it's possible that he could even be able to go and finish the game, though it does look like he's trying to hunt down some extra pickups. The clean water is just huge for being able to do the escape on an awkward skill set, especially one that doesn't give you bash to be able to get through the water section fast. But Avenged is looking at this clean water and going, okay, clean water, that means that things are hiding in the water. That's what the randomizer wants me to do.
Yeah, and as they also have valet teleporter available to them, they also have a good way to get to the left side of the map. So this could potentially be go mode or lumberjack mode for Avenged. Lumberjack mode is basically when you go for all the trees to get your clues, and then can head to those two dungeons that you need to go to. He's still picking up. Oh, and there's Watervane. Hi, Watervane. So that is one of the dungeon keys, so he doesn't need to look for that. And as they have the Sunstone clue, that might actually really be Lumberjack mode for him. And we will see where he heads next. He seems to be thinking about where to go next, debating whether to go to Swamp or Grotto. Finally deciding to go to Swamp. Might head right into Ginso tree right now, which is accessible now with the water vein, and with his current skill set is definitely doable up until the bash tree.
I'm kind of hoping to see Avenged heading down into the Stomp tree area, as we can almost guarantee that he can get the Sunstone now as well, and since he's got the Water Vein, he can make sure that he has both dungeon keys ready to go. Does decide to go into Ginso instead. Still a fairly reasonable decision, as Ginso tree is full of pickups. There's so many keystones in here, and having charge jump and climb available makes this fairly reasonable to traverse, as the first half is very much only expecting you to have like wall jump and double jump really by this point. So being able
Yeah.
to traverse this with the huge upward jump of charge jump just lets him skip most of these rooms.
On the right, we saw Mattermonkey shaking his mouse in frustration. He might be wondering what he is missing. Of course, we know that is the charge jump in the Death Gauntlet. He's now heading to the Glide Vault. This has been nicknamed Glide Vault because in the first Randomizer tournament, it held Glide in 3 different races. And yeah, he might find something here, as I don't think Avenged has checked this yet. And we on the left see Avenged going through Ginso, using these charge flame redirects to get the lasers to shoot the barriers to make quick process of this. And now he can also use his charge flame to defeat this mini boss. Charge flame is primarily used as a fighting technique as well, and so this mini boss has nothing against Avenged. He's now going to check 4 keystones in the next 2 rooms, and maybe they contain some progression, but we see that the XP values are quite high, which could indicate that this is not the logical progression the seed was expecting, as experience kinda goes higher as you progress further into the logic.
Oh, but Avenged has only got 3 keystones. That we didn't notice as he was heading into Ginso is now this means that he's gonna have to go back and either leave the Ginso tree or go and do a key dupe, which involves finding a spot in which the game has unloaded the scene that's important. It does look like he knows the trick for it is going for the save anywhere. Saves in the right spot. And now this when he manages to die just above this door, it will respawn him, but the keys will go back into his inventory and the ones that he already has will go back into his inventory as well. So he'll end up with double the keys and then be able to go through this door. But of course, this is a very time-expensive trick,
Yeah, but this
and
could
so it's not
definitely
something you want to do, really,
that
if you can
could
avoid it.
definitely. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, this could definitely indicate that he is indeed in go mode, as doing those key duplications instead of searching for some more keys or skills in other areas, yeah, is to me an indication that he could be in go mode. And he's also using grenade gems um, to quickly traverse this tree, gets a health cell for his troubles. So he will be on his way to either search for the sunstone or go for example, the stump tree. Oh no, indeed he's going further up Ginso tree. There are more pickups available to him with his current skill set, and he is deciding to check them, which is very clever as they are very quick to check. There is a lot of them to check in here in this area, so they could technically hold something very valuable to him.
And in this case, it seems like what Avenged is getting lots of is lots of health cells, which is very useful, especially bearing in mind how little health Avenged has for the upcoming tricks ahead through certain areas if he ends up needing to go through them without a bash or dash or double jump, which hopefully he'll be able to pick up some of those skills, but if he doesn't, it's probably why he's still searching, is saying maybe I'm not feeling comfortable with my current skill set, want some extra things to go. Or maybe thinking that he needs left side access and doesn't know that he has a Valley TV. That's also a possibility. But we did see in with the Swamp TV earlier, but then finds Stomp.
Well, even if he wasn't sure if he has left side access, now he definitely does it. There is a stompable wall that blocks you from the left side, and there is the bird that needs to get chunked by some rocks up above as well that could be stomped. So stomp is definitely one of the good ways to get into left side, and is just a convenience skill as well.
Absolutely. So Avenged is now gonna go. Where is he gonna go for? He's gonna go for Moon Grotto. I think this will probably imply he's gonna go towards the swamp area, and Mattermonkey is also teleporting at the same time. But Mattermonkey, of course, is still lacking that critical charge jump that is allowing. That's what's allowing Avenged to be able to really continue on and with this seed. Whereas Mattermonkey is still just starved of that one really important pickup.
To keep you updated on the general state of the race, as mentioned in the beginning, there are a lot of participants. The first participant has already finished with a time of 33:26. So, yeah, it apparently was a very quick seed if you knew where to search. As now Avenged is heading into the swamp area, and Matter is making his way into Valley Entry.
Yeah, Mattermonkey's having a little bit of trouble trying to throw the grenade at that plant, and decides that he wants to try and get up this very annoying wall. I'm not sure how much success he'll have doing this with just climb and glide, and decides In fact, no, I've had enough. I don't think this is it. And is going to go and search somewhere else.
Yeah, he now decides to go to the Valley teleporter. There is a death plane to the left that doesn't allow him to go too far out. So he might decide to check some pickups and whether there is something useful or not, go out. And as Avenged is heading to the Strum tree, we're seeing him having a bit of trouble here. That is okay, he does not have bash, which you can see there are a lot of bashable objects in this area, so you're expected to have bash here, and since he doesn't, it can be challenging to some extent. And we're also now getting the Gumon Seal clue, which apparently is in Valley. We don't need that this seed for sure, or at least Avenged won't need this because this is a pretty comfortable state to be in for him. He's missing some convenience skills, but he's definitely able to traverse most of Nibel with what he has. And there's the Sandstone. So we will see if he decides to head to the final escape or to the left side and collect his missing trees now, or whether he's searching for some more stuff now. Meanwhile, on the right, Mattermonkey is searching his map for pickups he could have missed. Maybe he remembers that he missed that one pickup in the grotto that contained, or well, technically in the Hollow Grove. No, he's heading to the left. We, of course, know that Sea Jump is almost directly to the right of him from start. And yeah, we can see on the left, Avenged performed a very nice trick to skip that kill plane. So the big angry bird doesn't attack and instantly kill him.
So the important thing to note here is now Avenged is in this weird state in which Ori is somewhat dead, but also not really dead. So Kuro thinks that she's managed to catch Ori, but in fact Ori is able to still continue on as normal. However, Avenged has lost the ability to save the game using a normal Soul Link. So instead, Avenged will have to be very careful here, as if he takes a death, that could be a big problem, as then he would lose the invulnerability to the death plane, and gets the stomping the rocks, so is safe from that problem, and hopefully will remember to reload the game, as that will fix the weird state that Ori is in, and then we'll be able to save the game again.
Yeah, on the left, Matter is searching frantically for that part of progression he is missing right now. He's doing frantic mouse movements, indicating that he has no idea what he missed and is kinda lost with this. Hopefully, he will remember Death Gauntlet as an option. He's checking his skill wheel to see what he could do, what is maybe doable, or what kind of pickups he needs or wants, what could be the possible progression in the next step.
The energy cell that he needs is right in the center of his screen. His mouse is almost over it, but I don't know if he knows that he can actually get to that one at the moment.
There is a
Avenged.
wall right beside it, so maybe if he remembers that he can just climb up there. Maybe he thinks he has collected it before and checked it. He is just getting randoed. That is when you don't, when you're missing one pickup and you think you have it, or you just forget it's there. You forget to pick it up. You don't pick it up out of thinking it's not needed, and that pickup is of course what prevents you from continuing further. As to the left, Avenged is doing some nice grenade jumps to get through Misty very quickly. This is normally a very slow area, or it can be very slow in a casual playthrough. And but it is intended as the glide tutorial. Avenged definitely has the needed skills to get through this area.
Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, since Misty is a very horizontal area, there's lots of places in which you can do grenade jumps or any form of like fast horizontal movement to just zoom across. And of course, the main issue with the that you're gonna have in Misty is the zigzag spike glide tutorial things that you mentioned. But normally you would also have double jump, so often you'll end up having to do a couple extra damage boosts. But Avenge has plenty of health, plenty of energy for safety saves, and so hopefully we'll have no trouble whatsoever with Misty.
On the right, Mattermonkey attempted a very difficult trick to get into the iceless area. There's one ability cell that you just saw on his screen, and he tried to climb up that wall that was right next to him. Didn't quite get it, is still searching what he is missing, is kind of really desperate at this point, I can imagine. Might be also the nerves kicking in, as he knows he's restreamed, which can be quite stressful if you are not sure where to progress. He's alt Ring again. His mouse movement probably means that he has no idea what is going on at this point, which is very understandable. He's 40 minutes in and still only has climb as a way to traverse further.
Yeah, and Avenged has successfully made it through all of Misty, now all the important parts, right to the climb tree, head straight out. Says I've had enough of this place, and now it's time to head over to either Sorrow or down to a lower Black Root to get the last two trees and then be able to head to the end. Looks like he is going to go for Sorrow. Fortunately, the wind restored, the glide is going to make this area a whole breeze to do with no problems whatsoever. Very relaxing experience just gliding upwards through this giant area.
Yeah, there will be some birds trying to attack him, but I'm sure he can easily avoid them, as you see him do now. And with the wind restored, these spikes here can do nothing to him, and his Sorrow entry will be quite easy. I can imagine he won't even check a lot of pickups on his way, just the convenient one-offs that are right in his path, and just go straight for the tree. So he needs to go up there, needs to break that ceiling, and he's probably I'm not sure. Is he? Oh, he's deciding to turn in another mapstone and collecting another mapstone possibly as well.
I think Avenge is probably thinking maybe not 100% comfortable with Final Escape with this skill set, which is absolutely valid because it's not necessarily going to be a very easy escape to do. Some of
Oh,
the
definitely.
rooms can be very difficult and very reliant on your ability to pull off a grenade jump. And this
And
wall
there's
jump
Wolf.
has somehow made its way into Sorrow Pass. Yeah, it's wrong zone, but it's. I'm sure it's enjoying its trip long from home.
Yeah, this is, as mentioned before, normally the first skill you get in the vanilla game. So having it at the last skill position in the vanilla game, or at least close to the last skill position, is quite a funny thing to see. Um, and it would help, for example, Matter having it at this stage. Yeah, it's Avenged is gliding through these spikes, collecting all the things he can find here, maybe hoping for some more. Although Bolt Jump, of course, makes things easier as you have an easier time getting off of walls. Climb normally only lets you kind of l- lose grip on the wall and then you float down, but with the wall jump, you can actually jump off a wall, as the name implies. And now he's heading to the next tree. He's trying to do some grenade jumps to save time. Doesn't quite get it, but still gets to to his ninth tree. He would get his third clue, but as we already have Sandstone and Water Vein, there is no new clue for him. On the right, Mattermonkey is deciding to check this one off pickup we call Dash Plant, as it is right above the dash tree. Doesn't quite get it, is deciding on a few different tricks to try and get it.
So I think the way he's trying to do this is there's a very questionable strat involving a Charge Flame Burn, which is one of the abilities that increases the radius of your charge flame. And if you duck on the top of this crusher, you can get just barely in the right position to be able to reach the with a little bit of sign allowance. There we go. Gets a health cell. Unfortunately, not what he's looking for, but that is certainly an interesting strat to see for someone to pull off. It's not very common one at all. So it's impressive knowledge there on Mattermonkey's side, knowing of that strat. Fortunately, doesn't end up helping him out. Though he is going to the water vein location, so that could be an interesting pickup. Though he can't actually get anything in the Ginso tree, unfortunately.
Yeah, but now
So
he at
it's
least knows that clean water is on the table somewhere. He hasn't found that either, as it was not easily accessible with his skills, not at all, I believe. So, yeah, he's thinking maybe he missed Dash. He's thinking what else has he missed. This can be quite frustrating, I can imagine. Being that one pickup that just would have made his life so much easier, as we see on the left, Avenged still checking pickups, so probably really not comfortable with what he has to do now. Opening, I think he will go and turn that map stone in, and after that, he might go to the left and collect the dash tree.
yeah. So this Avenged is seemingly reluctantly going for this final tree, and then maybe will attempt the final escape with the current skill set. Which, if he does, this will be very exciting to see. Although it does seem like with the amount of pickups that he's still checking at this point, that he really wants to find any one of the remaining skills will make this final escape so much more comfortable to do. That even double jump would help a huge amount, as it gives you so much more ability to stay in the air, especially for the elemental room just full of fire. Is gonna go for this quick cutscene skip here when he can clear out the aggressive bird that has decided to come visit.
Yeah, he's doing another save anywhere to skip a cutscene that takes like 80 seconds to play, so obviously this is not something you want to watch, as he now heads to his final tree, and we'll see if that holds anything of value for him, or whether it's just XP or something. It's the Grotto teleporter. They already collected it. We can see Matter just teleported to it. Might remember that he missed some pickups earlier here. He might
He's so
find
close.
might find it. He just needs to go a bit further down. Is deciding to go up. That is very unfortunate to see. As
And
on
just
the
to
left.
reiterate, like these sometimes you can just absolutely have these seeds in which you just you're going on a trip that you've been on 1,000 times. You're doing it with not a very interesting skill set of just climb, and then you go, okay, well, I've mentally checked off that I've already been to this location. That's good. Don't need to check there ever again. And sometimes that can it can just mess you up. Even the best runners in the Ori Rando will sometimes make these mistakes. So it's absolutely nothing against Mattermonkey's skill here, just making this unfortunate mistake.
Yeah, on the left, we still see Avenged going for very obscure one-offs. This is one that we rarely see, as it is far off of everything else they can check. And there's double jump. Well, this area is designed as a double jump tutorial, so it just makes sense that it is hiding there. So maybe with that set of skill, he's comfortable as he's going to the teleporter. We will see if he heads to Swamp. Yeah, he's heading to Swamp, and this probably indicates that he is going for the final escape now, trying to finish out the seed.
Yeah, and it's still a somewhat difficult escape. Not having bash and dash could cause you some problems in the escape, but has plenty of health. has clean water for the swim section, and so the only real big problems is the lantern room, which you can either go. There's a couple different routes you can go through that. We'll see which one Avenged opts for, and then the elemental room, in which with the addition of double jump should be fairly reasonable to do with the amount of health that he has remaining. Should be able to manage it in only one damage boost.
He can't quite damage boost across this fiery section in horror fields. As we see Mattermonkey going for Glazer. This is a laser in the glides, so Glazer, he's trying to get to that one pickup. I think it is possible with his skill set. I'm not too sure.
It's I don't believe it's possible with this setup. There's some interesting ways you could get to that one with the current setup, with some
He's still
questionable positioning of rocks, but it's not something that you really want to have to do in any form of rando race, really.
He's circling some one-off positions that we of course know do not contain his progression, as this seed probably wanted him to get charge jump. Meanwhile, on the left, Avenged is trying for a one-frame trick door warp, which just takes a door, and the game gets confused and sends you to the end of the dungeon, which he just managed. So now he's off to the final escape, just one time escaping the big angry bird we saw earlier. And then it will be GG for him, so let's hope he can do this escape.
Mattermonkey is back in Grotto, potentially unfortunately is heading up again. So we'll focus on Avenge side as he goes through this escape. This is the last segment of the game, and so all he needs to do is make it through this entire sequence without dying a single time. But still has plenty of time to do it, as Mattermonkey is not currently in a position to be able to head into the final escape. So Avenge has lots of time to try this difficult escape right now.
Yeah, he's as he cannot bash off the lanterns in the next room, he needs to find some special way to do it. Unfortunately, gets caught by Kuro, but gets to try again and maybe make his way through the escape this time. Matter is still looking for that one pickup. He is not so finding it, but now Avenged has found a friendly spike that is not trying to kill him. And he gets lasered, or well, magma'd. So back to the start again.
Yeah, so the Avenge has a few different options here. The one that Avenge is currently trying is, if you smartly manage to break this floor, that resets the Kuro timer of Kuro hunting you down. But you have to actually go close enough to the wall for the big rock to come down and block you from continuing that route. So that allows you to use charge and to go up and around, or you can do the other method, which is to just go through the normal way and then just do a grenade jump through.
But he eats a bit too much damage, unfortunately.
And so Avenge is going to need to do this without taking any extra damage. I believe he can only take one hit with his current health, because I don't believe he has ultra defense.
Yeah, and
so
he only
needs to
has.
make sure he finds this friendly spike. There's just a slight patch of spikes that, for some reason, don't have much interest in trying to hurt you, and is now managed to get the top route this time. So he's showing off all of the different routes for us to see, and then gets through the elemental room. Hopefully, it's going to be plain sailing now. Just got to get through this fish section, which, because of clean water, isn't going to hurt Avenged.
And he also has Sea Flame, which can kill the fish very quickly, as we can just see. Now he just needs to glide up here, is even deciding to skip the Kuro cutscene, which would set him on a timer again. He is on the final wall. From here, we will see if he tries to get a grenade jump off, which will half the time he needs in the final cutscene, as it skips the first half, basically. Gets it not quite, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. Fortunately, just a bonk. There is a version of that is a soft lock. This is not the one. If it's a soft lock, then Ori will be rotating backwards in midair, and then would end up walking into a wall for all eternity. But fortunately, Avenge just gets the slow but not a disaster version, and therefore has now finished all of the actual input heavy part of the game, and has just got a hold right to finish the game.
Yeah, it will be a bit more than a minute for him to finish, as we see Matter still trying to find that one progression that he needs, opening his map again. Unfortunately, in the wrong area at the moment to find that progression. And as we see Ori gliding through the spirit tree, well, no, not quite. Yeah, he will finish soon, and then, yeah, we can concentrate some more on Mattermonkey's frantic search for that next bit of progression. He does not. He should.
He's going for the special trick here involving an energy door. Or he's just going to wait for the energy regen, I'm not sure. There is a way to do that with only 3 energy, in which you can, if you place an energy in the door on the same frame that you leave the door, then it will leave an energy in the door and you can go and get an energy from elsewhere and come back with the 3 energy to finish the door. But manages to get it. Unfortunately, it's just XP. It's really not what Mattermonkey wants to see. For Mattermonkey to go on this far with this few pickups, the determination to continue is very impressive. But unfortunately, so far it's not paying off. We really want him to find that one pickup that he's missing.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, and, well, I think it takes a lot of dedication to continue that far, even with that limited set of skills. And on the left, Avenged has finished with a final time of 56:22, which put him in 14th place for that preliminary race. So we will see. Oh, he's going into Death Gauntlet.
This
Is
could
he
be the moment
finding
we've all been
Suja?
waiting for. Heading through Death Gauntlet towards the energy cell.
He's close.
Looks like he's gonna head up. Oh,
Yeah.
at long last, we've managed it. The seed is unlocked for Mattermonkey.
He can't believe he missed that, I'm sure. He's already dancing a lot there. Possibly realizing that that is what he needed. Now he can continue further into the seed with that much needed movability. So we will just see how he decides to route the seed further now. There are a lot of pickups that suddenly unlocked, and since he has been to almost every part of the map that he could already check, it will be interesting to see what he decides to revisit next. Decides to go into Swamp, picking up all the things he can grab now, and will maybe find some more things along the way.
It looks like we have Avenged on deck, ready for an interview. So we'll be bringing Avenged in momentarily to hear his thoughts about the race and the seed, as Mattermonkey continues the journey, but now is actually able to truly continue on and get through all of these areas with all the trees and such. Though is still, of course, missing that clean water due to not finding that charge jump earlier, and that could be a problem for Mattermonkey when it comes to the later parts of the run.
Yeah, definitely. This is an interesting spot he's in, for sure. He now is deciding to go to the stomp tree, it seems, as his next tree to collect, and we will see how he decides to route next.
Yeah, so now that big barrier is gone of charge jump, Matter just has almost the whole seed unlocked, manages to get Sunstone, and now is maybe thinking, okay, I don't have to deal with trying to hunt through the water anymore. And we have Avenged in for the interview now. So Avenged, congratulations on your win this seed. How did it go for you? Any thoughts?
That is exactly the type of seed I did not want.
I was just about to ask you about that climb start for like 20-30 minutes, just climb as a movement. How did that feel? What did you think trying to route this?
I don't even mind climb start. It's that one pickup in BRB is the only reason I hate it. It's like you have to do it the intended way, or you have to wait until you get skills, or I've just been burned on it so many times, I don't like it.
Oh yeah, we saw you head back there in the later stage, so you decided to check it if there was something important, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't believe you actually ended up checking it, right?
I ended up checking it on my way to get Grenade Tree.
Okay, so you went back, making sure that it wasn't... Were you thinking, oh, what if it's dash or bash this whole time?
Yeah, so I would have been more aggressive at rechecking that, but when I went back to go check it the second time, I realized that I had a swamp TP that I'd forgotten about, so I didn't need it for progression.
Yeah, it's good that you remembered that and remembered to check the TPs with that special bind that we have, our wonderful randomizer. So what about the later parts of the seed when you've got that left side access, you've got a technically completable go mode available.
Yes.
What was going through your head? Were you thinking, I need more skills with this, I'm not comfortable with this setup, or were you thinking, maybe I should just be rushing and going for it?
So my thought was go for all the trees, but check things that are fast, because grenade jump only is not an escape I've really practiced. But I'm fairly confident with bashless escapes. I just needed like one more skill. It ended up being pretty lucky that Sense procced where it did, because that was pretty much exactly the skill I needed.
Yeah,
is Sense a common thing that you try and pick up? Because I know this differs a lot between the different runners as whether or not they love or hate Sense. Is Sense on one of your loves?
I don't usually. In this seed in particular, I felt like we probably weren't getting dash, given how late I was into the seed. And given that I needed, like, one skill to go mode, I figured it was probably worth it here.
I think that's a good decision there.
Yeah, I have another question to you concerning a bit of the later stage. There was quite a bit XP in Ginso, as we just saw Mattermonkey pick it up, 280 XP, which generally says that this is relatively late in the logic. Did that concern you at any point, or were you just like, okay, that's I'm far ahead, or did you not even notice it, or?
I noticed it. I guess I was kind of confused how those XP values were that high, because the Water Vein was in Logic pretty early, and so is Charge Jump. And between those two things, you should be able to get fairly far up Ginzo.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe there was
I guess it was more
else.
a bit confusing than anything.
Makes sense, makes sense. So, Matt, do you have any other question to Avenged right now?
Not that I can think of. I think that's all the questions I have.
Yeah, then what are your plans for the rest of the preliminaries? Are you happy with your current standings, or do you plan on attending some more races to improve that standing?
Oh, I plan on participating in as many as I can. I need all the help I can get.
That's always a good idea, I feel like. So how are
Yeah.
you feeling right now about your standings?
Not great, but I'd like to see what it ends up being once everybody is raced. 5 races.
Makes sense, makes sense.
I,
Yeah,
I feel I feel like I can do a lot better than I'm doing, and I feel like I just need to practice more to get there.
yeah. This preliminary races can definitely be a good practice, as you can immediately see how well the others are doing, I suppose. GG for you, to you for that race, definitely. That was quite like that one pickup that just that you found early ended up mattering a lot in here. So GG for that.
GG.
GG.
Yeah,
Okay,
on the
so
right we're still seeing Matter trying to find that. Well, he now has a charge jump, so he can traverse some areas, is deciding to head through this dangerous spike area. This is not easy without Bash, as it expects you to have Bash. There are all the projectiles and all the lanterns he could bash off. A lot of spikes that he could avoid if he could just keep being in the air. Might have forgotten. Yeah.
So yeah,
Might
this actually, the reason why Mattermonkey is having to go this way with all of these extra damage boosts actually comes down to earlier, way back in the seed, when Mattermonkey was on that mad hunt for as many random pickups as he could find. He actually ended up watching the cutscene that Avenged used to stack with the death plane, and so that is, and because that cutscene is now gone, there's no way to get it back, and so you can't actually do that method anymore. And so instead, Mattermonkey needs to do this much slower and much more difficult route throughout the main path through Valley to be able to break the rocks.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he decides to go about this, as his further movement further up isn't easy as well. He doesn't have wind restored, so getting up there isn't as smoothly as Avenged made it seem when he got into Sorrow. And yeah, he's frantically moving his mouse, not sure what to do. We'll have to backtrack over the right side again to find that wind restored, possibly, or yeah, possibly wind resort, maybe the clean water as well. We'll see. He's heading into Blackroot, I believe, was that?
I think what it's going to come down to for Mattermonkey is because he really is going to be able to deal with that top section, since the death plane is still there, is he's going to have to find some extra skills, or wind restored, as you said. But I think the chances of Mattermonkey going back to, after all of the pickup, the one-off pickups that he's missed, I don't imagine him going back to the double jump tree for that one single XP orb. So we could possibly find out where the remaining skills that had gone missing throughout this seed have been this whole time. Or it also could be that they're hiding, buried in some horrible location.
Yeah, he's deciding to possibly check some pickups in here that he can get to now with charge jump and grenade jumps and etc. Finds another energy cell. That is always nice, but as we can see, he already has 8, so that is definitely not what he's looking for. He's mainly looking for skills at this point, and now he's going for some zombie Ori. This is where Ori dies, and you save using save anywhere. Basically, at the moment Ori dies, so you respawn with 0 health, as he currently has, making Ori a bit of a zombie. Yeah, gets it, and is now trying to get to some more pickups up here, but those spikes deal a lot of damage, so as he just zombied, he obviously doesn't have a lot of health. He's regaining some health with some saves, to regain some of that HP he's missing, trying to go through the lasers as Avenged did before.
I believe
Yeah.
Avenged actually went round with a grenade jump, because doing this with a charge jump is very precise. Oh, but Mattermonkey manages it. That's a deceptively difficult trick to do there, and gets the save anywhere. I believe double jump was in this area around here. I don't remember which specific pickup it was in though. May have been the tree. It was not the tree. The tree was gone. So.
Yeah, so not finding anything too useful here either. Double jump was apparently in the left side of Gumo's hideout. So as Matter is going to the right, he might go back there again, or not just picking up that one pickup there, which turned out to be another health cell. So getting more comfortable with all that, deciding to open that 4 energy door. Doesn't quite go for the swim yet, because he still doesn't have clean water. Might decide to gain some HP back. Goes for it now. It's the Sorrow teleporter, so that's helpful.
It's an interesting find. I'm not sure how much that will help currently with Mattermonkey. It's possible that he could use that to get to the charge jump tree. It looks like he is going to go and try and do it. It's can be a little bit precise with the climb charge jumps here, but it's certainly possible to do.
Yeah, there was also the wall jump in the general area of Sorrow. He might not get to the specific location here, but we will see how he decides to go about this. He's using some charge jumps, regaining his health with the teleporter, and possibly he's not going for the charge jump tree here, is he?
Could be going round through down the main shaft, and then using glide to get through the typical way that you go through. It looks like that's what he's going for. It's going to cost some extra keystones. Don't believe he has enough currently, so he's setting up for a dupe with the save. Fortunately, this is a super fast dupe to do. You just can place the save, and then you just have to do a little bit of glide movement through here and get the extra keystones.
Yeah, and now he's duped 3 of his keys. He could be duping another time just to make sure, but he decides that that is enough. As there aren't any other doors he has to open mandatorily, as he already went to Ginso. This is completely fine to not dupe another time. It would just take up some more time. So he's heading to the charge jump tree and gets 26 XP for his troubles.
Okay, so now that Mattermonkey has access to Sorrow, this is going to allow him to actually go through that area with the kill plane and the birds just from above this time, and head down and break the rocks, and that will of course remove the kill plane. So that is an option that is available. It does look like that's the path Mattermonkey is going, and then Mattermonkey will be able to actually go and finish the seed if he chooses to try and do that path. But of course, as we saw Avenged have difficulty with that escape, it could be that Mattermonkey is also thinking the same things of maybe this is not an escape that I'm comfortable with, of pretty much mostly just grenade jump only escape.
Yeah,
He's
but
very low on health. And just get
yeah, as we saw, he also picked up that wall jump on the top of Sorrow, or well, in the middle of Sorrow. So that will be quite helpful for him. Of course, something like double jump would make it even more comfortable, as it is some further air stall moment mostly, and some more hate he can gain from it. But now he's collected his next tree, which isn't actually a tree, it's just a feather. and is now heading for his last tree in the Misty Woods. Maybe he's hoping to find some more skills in here. Misty has turned out to be quite a place for skills the past few seeds, so maybe this will be true for the seed as well. We still don't know where Dash was and where Bash was, so those are two very important skills actually that none of our runners have found. So maybe a deeper dig into Misty than Avenged did will show where one of these skills, or potentially both, will be.
Well, logic-wise, the path to the Sorrow Teleporter is actually an option, as we did find, Avenged did find clean water. So that's certainly one way the logic could have thought that you could get into party. So we could be seeing something like a bash or a dash in Misty, though it looks like Mattermonkey is skipping some of these pickups in Misty, maybe feeling a bit more confident after everything that's happened, or potentially just forgetting the pickup is there.
Well, maybe he also just decided, I've been in the seat for over an hour and 15 minutes. Let's just try this escape, and if it doesn't work, could also be a way of thinking. We will see as he decides what to do, but it looks like he will be skipping pickups a lot. Saves to regain some health and is now going through this glide section. With glide, this really isn't too bad. As you can see, he just needs to stall his movement in the air and make his way safely down here. And he will reach his climb tree momentarily.
And we'll see whether or not Mattermonkey decides to continue. I'm expecting as he skipped most of the pickups in Misty, that they're not going to continue in Misty, and is going to highlighting the 10 out of 10 trees, maybe expecting to see heading straight to the Swamp TP and then over to Horu after that. And then we'll see how well Mattermonkey can do with this skill setup versus a mostly grenade jump only escape, or grenade jump with a kind addition of some glide to help.
Yeah, he one thing to note is that he also does not have clean water, so that is a damage boost of that he needs to calculate in, as he will take damage from the water in the poison swim. So this will be even harder, way harder than what Avenged had to do, so let's see how comfortable he is with that. He might just try it a few times, decide it's too hard for what he would like to have, and go continue his search. Although I can imagine, since he has seen almost every part of the map more than twice at this point, this is not an option he's looking forward to.
Yeah, we're really hoping to see Mattermonkey being able to get the finish here. He's going to have to do grenade jump to get across here. There's some other methods you can do, but none of them really compete with the speed or style of the grenade jump here. And Mattermonkey, in terms of a skill situation with the ability trees that Mattermonkey's got, of course he did get the charge flame burn, which is going to help with the fish section, and will hopefully make it a lot easier to clear out the fish. And now Mattermonkey is going to go into the door warp and see how many attempts that it takes it.
Yeah, since that swim takes 6 damage for him, since he doesn't have Ultra Defense skilled yet, and he is at a maximum of 10 HP, plus the regen, which basically gives him another point of HP, as if you don't have 0 HP you don't die. This will be quite a hard escape, as he can damage boost maximum 1. He's going for Ultra Defense, and is now starting the final escape.
It's off by 1 ability point for the Ultra Defense. So there's quite a lot of possible ways to try and do this escape. With the health regen, it is actually possible to use that to refill your health. Of course, it takes a very long time to do, as there is a certain spot just next to the fish section that you can use to safely sit there and wait for minutes on end for your health to refill if he ends up in a dire situation, but nicely gets the first grenade jump. Let's see if he can get the second one. He's not going to go for the second grenade jump. Manages to get through the elemental route. It's barely possible to do this swim section with this amount of health. You need to stomp into the water, make sure you kill the fish. Of course, if the fish decide to generously donate any health, that would also assist. But Mattermonkey just cleanly gets this first try. Hopefully isn't going to get hit by a wild rock. It's just the last section here, just needs to carefully get up, and doesn't look like he wants to risk any form of grenade jump. He just wants out, and has nicely got a very difficult escape done. First try with no health to spare, really. Just the fraction from health regen keeping him alive.
GG to him. He just needs to hold right, and finishing the seed after searching for half an hour, I believe, for that next piece of progression, that is really determination. That was incredible to see. I can imagine quite frustrating to him, but he now finally gets his time. Just needs to hold right twice, first with Ori, and then with Naru, and then he can call the seed done.
What a journey it's been to get through this seed for Mattermonkey, but stuck it through. Many a runner would have given up by this point, but Mattermonkey showing off his determination to get to the end, and manages to really show off in that final escape, getting it really cleanly done. And it's just got to finish up with some narrow hops for style at the very end here, finishing off the seed.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to join for an interview or whether he wants to have a very much needed break after this. Anyway, our next race will be tomorrow, 11 EDT. It will be Xemsis versus Tritonite, a very much anticipated race, as Tritonite is currently 5 out of 5 wins. So he has taken every single race he has been in, and Xemsis also is close on his toes. So that will be a very interesting match to see. Looks like he isn't going to. Looks like Matter isn't going to join the interview. So yeah, that was quite an interesting seed to see, with that one pickup that changed the entirety of the race for both of our runners.
Absolutely, and it was a great time commentating this seed. Of course, it was the runners of Avenged and Mattermonkey. You can go and follow both of their runners of their Twitch handles at the top. We had 2Kill joining me on commentary for our truck, feeding us all sorts of useful information and correcting us whenever we got anything wrong. There's Carafel and Skull Blacker, and on our restreaming is Apple Tree. So thank you very much to everyone. Of course, thank you to our tournament organizers for making all of this possible, and thank you all of the runners who participated in this race as well. So we will see you all tomorrow for the next race.
Bye bye, everyone.